This is Brent of the Brookbush Institute with my colleague Rick Ritchie from the Independent Training Spot, and we have a challenge for you. This is the hardest quadruped progression ever challenge. I'm going to show you guys how to set this up, and then I want you guys to send me in your videos of trying to complete this absolutely near ridiculous progression. All right, so what Rick's going to do, and let me first say, I probably wouldn't have somebody on the table for risk that they'll fall over. You want to get a yoga block, or this is that trigger point block that comes in those kits. Rick's knee is going to go on top of that as close to the wall as he can get, and I'm going to explain the wall here in a second. He's then going to set up his hand pretty close to the wall, so his shoulder is just barely touching the wall. Now, what you guys are going to realize is the wall is not a regression here, it's a progression. The wall keeps Rick from being able to shift his body weight this way and pivot over this leg once I take away part of his base of support. Now, to make this a little easier on somebody's wrists, you guys can do fists on a nice soft surface like maybe an M.A.R.K pad. We have our Pro Unit handles here that sometimes I use that actually makes it a little harder because they spin. All right, but they do make it a little easier on the wrist if somebody has wrist problems. Rick did this a little bit earlier. He's most comfortable on his fists. Now here's when things get a little bad. Hard. You got to get this knee level with the other knee. So already you can see this is unstable. He has to make sure that he's not touching the wall. He has to be like a ½ inch away from the wall. I should be able to fit my fingertips in between the shoulder and the hip and the wall. If I want to make it really, really challenging, I'm going to take this softball and I'm going to put it on his low back. All right, so now we have just a quadruped. You guys know a quadruped, right? He's drawn in. He's actually bracing a little bit because this is so hard. His glutes are firing. He's hopefully driving through the balls of his feet. To make this happen, guys, you are going to have to get as dorsiflexed as possible, put the balls of your feet into the floor, and push back that way as hard as you can. Now, Rick, you ready for the challenge? Here's the challenge, guys. Lift that arm. And this is where it's just ridiculous. It should not be this hard to raise that arm, but to raise this arm, not to shift, not to lose the softball. We've all been working on it. I think you guys will find it's a great progression for your more advanced athletic population. It's a great progression for all of my fitness professionals. I think all of us are working right now to get up to just 10 just up and down oscillations, right? Without losing the ball. And that's actually really strong, man. Rick is doing a tremendous job here, keeping his knee level. He's not touching the wall. He almost kept perfect with his low back. He kept that neutral arch. That was pretty good, Rick. Thanks. Other side. So while Rick sets up the other side, I want you guys to try this. It's super hard. 10 oscillations on each side. If you can do it, I want the videos. That's the challenge. 10 on each side. I want to see the videos. I want to see who can pull this off with perfect form first, so they can start integrating it into their integrated warm-up and their core conditioning program. I'll talk with you guys later.